What's up? This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Trench in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Hey, what's up? Y'all know where y'all at. This is Dope Living TV Live. Welcome to the show. Let me start off by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Having said that, man, we're going to have a great show today. I said that real quick, all right, because we want to get started. We're a couple of minutes late, but it's all good. And you know why we're late? Bam!
We got to talk real fast. Everybody talk real fast. We're going to talk real fast today. Everybody talk real fast. Come on now.
But let me tell you why else we late. Bam! Mm-hmm. Y'all want to play that, right?
What?
It is all good. We're going to have a great show, though. Look, today is special to me because, you know, the reason why I'm here is because of this woman, all right? She is a PR agent. She's a publicist. She has her own firm out there in La La Land.
La La Land.
Yeah.
Y'all know what La La Land. I'm trying to find this as I'm going on because I'm trying to do 3 things at one time right now. But her name is Katina Fields. She has the KFields PR Public Relations Agency. She's doing her thing big time out there. I knew a win. She was little. Okay, but now she's big and she's doing the thing, and we're not going to hesitate any longer. Okay, everybody, welcome Miss Katina Fields to the show.
Yay! Welcome,
Hey.
Katina.
Hi.
What's going on, Katina?
What's going on?
Hey, not much, you know, finally swimming out of this LA bad weather that we were having.
All right. Y'all got
but
snow and everything. Did you
There
get
was
some
snow north of me, flooding around me, power outages, trees down, you name it. It was crazy over here.
It's
But,
around you. It's not on you. That's the good thing.
Right. But we're having better days now. So we're trying to dry out right now.
But you made it, and we're glad to have you.
Yes.
I'm glad to be here with the Dope Living family. Glad to be here.
We gotta make it quick, y'all. Not necessarily quick. We're gonna do the show, okay? But she is so freaking busy, all right? So tonight she has another event that she has to go to. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a little
Moving and
overdressed.
shaking.
Thank you. Yeah. Always networking. You know, that's how you stay relevant. You
that's
keep
how you have to
rising.
do in her field, which I don't know anything about. Basically, I know that in order for a person, and I said it in the post, if you have any if you're trying to be a public figure at all, or have a business that you're trying to get out there, you need someone like Katina to help you out, to get you seen, to get you heard, to get you going. Actually, all right, Katina.
Sorry, I'm trying to get the sun out of my face.
No, it's okay. I want to get I don't know exactly what you do. I know what you do for me, all right, but we don't know exactly what you're doing. For those that don't know, can you explain what your business is? Because as we were talking beforehand, you separated the PR and the public relations agency. I think it was a publicist. I'm sorry.
Right. So I have a public relations agency, which is full service. So you have the public relations consulting, and then you have the publicist, the publicity. And so it is two separate businesses going on there, because, you know, a lot of my entertainers, my actors, my comedians, my music artists, you know, they want publicity. They want to get on red carpets. They want to secure interviews. They want to help me, you know, they want me to help build their brand. And then on the PR side of it, public relations consulting, that comes with like a lot of events or businesses who need more of that corporate communications type of, crisis communications,
Exposure.
brand strategy, marketing strategy. Right. So it's definitely two different sides of the house.
Yeah, most definitely. So is there a specific type of clientele that you look for or look for you?
There is. So when I first started the business, I was doing a lot of more so corporate communications. So I do it all. So let me back up a little bit. Greg, I'm not going to take over your interview. It's
Take it over. Take it over. But
Girl, because he won't let nobody else.
Some people don't know my background. So let me
say, go all the way back.
Let me go back. So I started in TV 7.5 years ago as a news reporter, producer. So, my degree is in mass communications. So that's how I started this foundation. While I was doing broadcast journalism, I started to, in college, I also learned about marketing and public relations. I stopped TV because it was so much overtime. And, when I had my son, I was like, I can't, this overtime is killing me. So then I moved into the world of public relations. And I've been doing public relations now for well over, I want to say 23 years. 23 years. Overall in the business, 27 years, but public relations about 23 years. And I've held a lot of different positions, public relations manager for nonprofit. I worked as a PR manager for the federal government. I was an executive for the school district of Philadelphia. I was a vice president for another nonprofit. And then when my son kind of graduated from high school, I said, kind of before he graduated high school, I started Udapa Consulting, which was my first PR agency. And then I kind of rebrand and re-strategized in the KFields PR Agency. So I've been in this game for quite some time.
I remember Udapa.
You met me during
Udapa. Huh?
You met me during the Udapa days.
Exactly. I met you during Udapa. I think we met in Gary, but then we reconnected in, what was it, Atlanta or Baltimore or something like that?
Atlanta and Baltimore.
Absolutely. Okay. And it's been great since, and she's shown me so much, guys. All right, I know there's a lot of publicists and PR agents out there, okay, but you can learn a lesson from this one. Okay. Katina, what you've gone through a whole transformation, and I can say this because I've seen it. All right, what were some of the struggles that you've had?
Oh, just meeting clientele, getting into the rooms to meet the type of clients that I was searching for. People, it's when you're dealing with celebrities and then you're calling yourself a celebrity publicist and just trying to overall get in the room to meet people. That was the hardest part, and I had to like re-strategize and rethink and because it was so hard to just get into the rooms to meet people. So one of my first two celebrity clients that I got was Jasmine Burke. She's an actress now, and actor Brad James. They were two of my first clients, and they lived in Atlanta and still live in Atlanta. And I met them through a mutual friend. They were looking for some PR to help with an event that they were doing in Atlanta. And so she brought me on board. I helped them with the event. I actually ran the carpet from Maryland. I wasn't even in Atlanta for the event. I actually ran the carpet virtually from Maryland.
Wow.
And so they, they like my work ethics. They saw that I could deliver and continue to work with me throughout the years. I've been working with them now for well over almost 10 years now.
So they're still clients.
Yes. Well, Brad, not so much as Jasmine is still a client, but Brad and I still talk, right? Because when you deal with a lot of celebrities in this business, they do go from publicist to publicist. You rarely see someone who's been with a publicist for a very long time. And that's just because, just different things. Sometimes they feel like you can't take them where they want to be or elevate them to a point where they want you to elevate them at. But then, they come back, they'll come back because they'll go to someone else and that person's not treating them right, or that person's not really putting them on platforms either. So then they come back to you.
Or their team is not on the one.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Or it may have been just a 1-year contract to promote a movie or, some type of project, and then they'll come back if they have another project in mind.
knowing that you do the job that you do. She has completed over 300 successful branding and PR campaigns throughout her career. Over 300, guys. And her clientele not only is actors, as she said, and actors. It's athletes, it's management companies. She just does it all. I got to say this while we're doing this. I'm so proud of you because I know where you were. I know where you've been, and to see what you're doing now, I could barely get a call with her. Okay, and if you go onto the website, matter of fact, let me put this website up here real quick, man, so y'all can see this. All right, you go into a website, you'll see me on there. But if you look next month, I'm getting lower and lower in the list.
Greg, you'll always be on my website. Greg saw me. Greg met me when I was in the trenches. I was doing public speaking with someone. So I was traveling across the East Coast doing public speaking about public relations. And I met Greg at a public speaking event in Gary, Indiana. I also met Senator Eddie Melton.
Correct.
At that same event, who eventually became my client.
Well, he's running for mayor now.
He's running for mayor.
She knows. Gene, you had a question.
Look how you elevated him. I want to know, Katina, do you see a difference in the success levels in the different cities that you go to? I know California is big, but there's a lot of competition out there.
There's a lot of competition out here. And I do see different success levels in different cities. You may not have a celebrity publicist per se for instance, I used to live in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I've lived up and down the East Coast, lived in Charlotte for almost 8 years. You don't see a celebrity publicist in Charlotte, North Carolina. However, you'll see a PR consultant. And that person very well can do some publicity, but it depends because there's not a lot of celebrities that live in Charlotte. So you're more of an event publicist. You're doing carpets, red carpets. You're putting up red carpets. You're doing red carpets. You're doing more business public relations consultant, maybe a lot of crisis management, helping it out with marketing campaigns or promotional campaigns, writing your press releases, that kind of thing, PR, putting together public relations strategies for different projects or, a rollout campaign or, something that a business might be working on.
Absolutely. You mentioned crisis management. Now, I'd hate to think that means that this person that you're providing your services for has done some things that maybe might have got them in trouble or getting them in trouble or they're saying too much. How do you deal with that?
That's exactly what it is. So for an individual, it would be, I call it reputation management, but for a company or a business, it would be called crisis management, actually. And when I work I learned how to do crisis management when I worked for the NACA, the Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America. I was communications manager there, as well as with the U.S. Postal Service. I worked at their headquarters in D.C. for quite some time. And, basically with individuals, it's reputation management. So you're correct. Someone did something, it's about to hit the news or it's about to be released. And it's my job to go in there and talk to the client and figure out how we want to attack this before it comes out.
Pull the curtain down.
There's so many different ways you can handle something. You can be quiet and let it die down. You can nip the bud before it grows. You can let it come out and see what's being said and then tackle it. There's so many different ways that you can deal with crisis management, crisis situation.
Okay, Mo, you had a question.
Yeah. So have you been involved in like the Godfather type relationships where a person that knows a person that knows a person?
No, I haven't. Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
No.
I mean, it sounds like PR would be, the perfect, to have that type
Olivia
of connection.
Pope, is that what you're talking about? Like Scandal, Olivia Pope?
She's the Godfather. I can't call. She's the
Godmother. The Godfather, the Black Godfather. Anyway, he was the one that hooked everybody up, that knew everybody, in the business, and put the pieces together, to help people find their way.
I do have a few friends who are master connectors, and they can connect you to anybody. Now, I do have that, and you have to have that as a publicist. You have to have someone who can master connect. I have a couple of friends here in LA who knows everybody, knows what's going on, and they are my master connectors.
Yeah.
How do you make those connections?
By networking, like I'm going to tonight. I'm going to a networking event. So I go out. Yeah, I go out, I network, I talk to people, I put myself in places where I'm able to have a conversation with someone. It's all about just getting out. You can't be an introvert with this job. I'm a social butterfly. I will walk up to anybody. I will talk to anybody. I will introduce myself.
Yes, Lord.
And that's what you have to do.
Well, we know how you make
work for
Greg,
me. I'm that introvert.
No, I'm telling you, no, she is a go-getter. Okay, I've seen, and I'm telling you, and Katina, forgive me for saying stuff like this. Okay, but I've seen her at her lowest point when nobody coming to her. Seriously, nobody's coming here, and I was literally having to arrange.
I'm like, Greg, I need $10.
Exactly. And it's like, hey, and to see y'all laughing about it, but to see her,
it's so real.
We always say,
but something. Greg, I'm glad you said that because not to cut you off,
but you asked for it.
Right, for every, like, even with actors, you see that most success stories, there is a rock bottom.
Mm-hmm.
People were homeless or whatever the case may be. I thank God I've never been homeless, but every great success stories, when you look at anybody who's great, even with Elba talking about, he was almost homeless. A lot of these actors, big actors, were once homeless, and now, look at Kim, the music artist Kim. He was homeless.
Yes.
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry, he was homeless, but look at him now. I think everybody goes through a point where you're almost at rock bottom, and then everything that you've manifested and prayed for eventually starts to happen for you. And once again, I was never homeless, but I had, I didn't have any clients. I didn't have money coming in. I opened up this business with literally maybe 3 clients, trying to make it and take care of 2 kids. So it was stressful, but I didn't let it get to me. I kept praying. I kept manifesting. I kept networking. And I got a decent break when J. Anthony Brown came on as a client. So J. Anthony Brown became a client of mine, and he's still a client to this day. And then working with Jay and doing PR for the club. And eventually Mr. Brown asked me to run his club. So then I became the manager of the J Spot Comedy Club, which allowed me to continue to network and grow my network.
Wow. Now you really rub some elbows.
Man.
I'm telling you,
just one-on-one.
But the biggest thing for me, aside from all of that, was that she literally, from the moment that I met her, she picked up everything and moved from one place to California. Just said, you know what?
Yes, I'm gonna do.
Forget all of this, man. This is where I'm gonna be at. I'm gonna plant my feet and ride or die. It's gonna happen. And she made it happen. And she made it happen big. And to anybody who looks at Katina's post, I guess she never has. I guess they wouldn't think you have a bed or a home, okay? Because you're always out. You're always out. Like you get ready.
I'm always out doing something. But that's how I have to stay ahead of the game. That's how you pay your bills. If you're not out networking and meeting people and letting people know I'm here and this is what I can do and let's talk, then you stay stagnant. So you have to,
guys. Her name is really out there, and to show how successful this woman is and how she just rubs elbows without lotion, just rubbing them all over the place. Okay, let's check this out real quick. Okay, this is my celebration of my friend Katina.
Dead.
He had to put that in there, didn't he?
Hey, I'm a client. All right? Yes, I had to put it in there. You definitely have to make sure. And look, if you look on there, you'll see maybe I'll say one person that she does not represent. And that's just a testament. That's my celebration for Katina.
Yeah,
you look happy. You look like you really enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah,
I do. I enjoy what I do. There's so many great people that I've met here. And in my website it says recipients of my services. And I specifically worded it that way because I don't always represent everybody, but there are people who have come to me and asked me to help them with something. So they have benefited from my services. So that's why on my website, I don't say clientele or this, I say recipients of my services because everybody that's listed on there is a recipient of my services.
So y'all go check her website out, www.KFields PR Agency.com. And I'm telling you, man, look at it. It's more than that. Was just a few. There's more. Go ahead, Maurice.
I was just going to ask. So you've been to Earthquake's club, his comedy club?
Well, he doesn't have a comedy club, so he does have a night. He has a night here. He doesn't have a nightclub, but he does perform at the Chateau Comedy Club here in Sherman, in the Sherman Oaks area, in like the North Hollywood area on Tuesday. But he doesn't have a club, but he does have a Sirius XM radio show. It's on every day. On Quake's house, which a lot of my clients go on Quake's house as well.
Yeah, Shag and all them be on there. Yeah,
right. Shag is one of my clients. Yeah,
yeah, and you know, a lot of the special guests that we've had on DopelivenTV Live was getting it together, hooking it up for us. So appreciate you for that as well. Katina, what's been your biggest challenge?
That's a great question. God, I hate to say this.
Go back.
My biggest challenge is just us working together.
Yeah.
Black people working together. When I started being noticed, people were like, who is this girl? I mean, other publicists, who is this girl? What does she do? You know, this and this and that. And not really wanting to work with you, you know, or some people may try to shut you out from getting into certain events, no matter if you have an A-list client or not. I just want us to, you know, come together, work together. There's enough in this city for everybody to take a piece of and to eat. And if you work together, you can be even powerful.
Yeah, I think we ought to.
Go ahead.
We need to realize how powerful we are. We do. We need to really recognize that power.
We are so powerful. And another challenge, Greg, here in Hollywood, I'm gonna put this out there too, is that some of the larger white PR agencies are hired to do some of the large Black events, and they shut out our clientele. They shut out our Black actors, our Black entertainers, our Black music artists. They shut them out because they don't know them. They're A-listers to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you can name probably on two hands who is considered an A-lister that's Black in Hollywood, right?
The Denzels and stuff like that.
Do things that are A-listers in our community. So just because they don't recognize that name, you know what I'm saying? Just because they don't recognize a Brandon T. Jackson or a Jasmine Burke or a Chaz Shepard, who has done great works within our communities. We all know who they are, and we all consider them A-listers. Some of these agencies, because they don't recognize who they might be, they shut them off from being able to get in the carpets and to attend these events, the larger events. So for years here, and I've only been here for 5 years, but for years, some of the publicists here, my hat's off to them, have had to fight to get their A-list clients into an NAACP awards, a BET awards. Some of these large award shows have that they hire to run their carpets. And there's enough Black PR agency here where, you know, you can do business with Black.
That's crazy.
I wasn't at the NAACP awards this year was because it was just, it was like Fort Knox and the CIA. No one could find information. It was exclusive. It was the first year that I've heard so many people in the industry and publicists say that they could not find the information, or they didn't know how to get in, or they were selling $1,500 tickets, with no access to the after party, which is where the networking really happens. So that's some of the challenges that I've faced here.
It seems like you kind of overcame those challenges.
Yeah.
I know I'm still facing those challenges. I'm
talking about this past one.
Hey man, she a dog with it, dog. She is a dog with it. I'm telling you, okay. Because if they don't let you in, if they don't let her in the front door, she's gonna create another front door to get in. All right, that's what I know about this woman here. We're talking with Katina Fields. She's a PR agent. I don't want to call it a PR agent. What do I call it?
Public relations consultant and a publicist.
A public relations consultant and publicist out in California. I'm telling you guys, anybody that's out there trying to do it, Tanisha, she says, right. It's sad, which is why I'm trying to help change the narrative of Gary. Now, when someone says something like that, okay, and I get it, and she's doing a great job, all right, but could you advise someone who's trying to do what you're doing, because she's saying change the narrative of Gary. And to me, you need to be thinking bigger than just your host, Yeah.
I think that we should develop something like, in Hollywood, you have SAG. You've heard of SAG, right? You've heard of the Writers Guild. You heard of the Directors Guild. There's a PRSA, but that's publicists, but that organization is majority white. I'm going to keep it real with you. You have the NABJ, which is, most of you know what that is, National Black Association of Journalists. I think that we need something like that for publicists, so that we can come together and bond together and fight.
Be on the same page.
We're here, we deserve to be in the same rooms that you are. Don't elbow us out of the Oscars. Don't elbow us out of the Golden Globes. We deserve to have our clients in the room too.
You can do that, Katina.
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't you do it?
I got too much on my plate, but if somebody else want to take the lead, I'm there. I'm down for it. All my fellow publicists who may be watching this, give me a call. Get in contact with me. I'd love to be on the committee, but I don't know if I can.
There you go, Tanisha.
There you are.
Because she'll do it. Tanisha,
Tanisha do it.
She will do it.
It's in her name.
Definitely something that needs to happen.
So, Katina, are there? Because I know a lot of people come to you. Are there any potential clients? I'm going to use the word client because I'm not you. Any potential clients that you may have turned away? You said, well, no, I can't do anything for you.
I do. I turn away people all the time because as a publicist, you have to have something to work with. And if you don't have a campaign, if you're not actively doing something, if you're a music artist, are you working on an album? What are you working on? What is your next? What are your goals? What can I promote? How can I put you out there? Because if I come to you, Greg, and I say, put this person on your platform, well, there needs to be something to talk about, Right. So if you're not actively working or you don't have a platform, then I can't promote, or there's not much that I can do with your platform. Now there have been some people that I've taken on that haven't had a platform, and I've helped them with that, help them with branding and strategizing and things like that. But yeah, there are people that I have turned down. I'm like, you know what? When you do start working on that album, when you do have your team together, because a publicist is the last person you should hire. Have your agent, have your manager, whatever it is that you're doing. If you're in music, have your manager. Make sure that you and your manager are booking and that you're out there. If you're an actor, make sure you have your agent. Some actors have a manager, but once you get the ball rolling and those campaigns are those campaigns are actively rolling out, then you bring your publicist on.
Okay, all right, and that's some sage advice. I mean, because you can't do anything with anything that doesn't have anything going.
Doesn't have anything going, but that's for publicists. Now, PR consulting, business hat. Let me switch hats. Business should always have a PR consultant. You've heard me speak on this, Greg.
Yeah.
A business should always have public relations and a PR consultant. Always. You should always be talking about your product. There's marketing, there's always promotions, there's a business is totally different from an individual. You should at least have one press release out per month talking about something that you're rolling out, having that CEO or you as the spokesperson out talking about that business and things that are going on, getting that business involved with expos or anything that are, that's going on that's pertaining to that business. Working with trade media, trade media are people who specifically write about a certain topic. So if you're selling tires, then I need to be working with trade media. Everybody that talks about the tread of the tire, the wear of the tire, tires in general, all those reporters, working with them to make sure that we're getting stories out about your company and what you do with tires. So a company, a business should always have a public relations consultant or, a PR department.
Okay, so let's get to the bag. All right. So again, this is her business. So as she's elevated herself, she ain't cheap, y'all. All right. Are there people that come to you and be like, I need your help, but
Chris Rocker?
You know what? All the time. But you know what? I have such a soft heart. I do. And there have been some that I do work for free. I do have a pro bono. So I do try to take on 4 people per year who can't afford services.
Oh, your phone about to ring off the hook.
Well, I've already got my 4 for this year, so no need to call me, okay? We'll put you in the hat. We'll put you in the hat for next year, but we already got our 4 for this year. And that's something that we look at in December, who we want to help that next year, because everybody can't afford PR, honestly. But I also try to work with people. I have different price points for different people's. I can't expect a comedian that's local, that's not really making thousands of dollars going to comedy clubs to pay, the same price that someone in the music industry who's making it, or a well-known actor, they can't be on the same playing field. So I have price points for different people or different groups of people. That's what I should say.
Okay. She don't, y'all. Look, that's her business. Y'all better pay that woman what she says is her cost, okay? Because she's good.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I have prices for certain groups. So, they do pay me with my price points within those certain groups. And like I said, I do take 4 people every year. And
she's good at what she does. Okay. Do I need to run that reel again? Okay. Or do I need to put the other one together real quick and run the other half? Okay. No, she.
How many times there are a lot of people that you've seen me with pictures on my page who started off where I started off working for free.
I know.
And because I could do the job,
yourself.
because I proved that I could do the job, they would come back around and they would pay me to do the job.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
A lot of times you have to humble yourself. You can't always come money.
Yep.
You got to see what you're dealing with and how can that benefit you in the long run. You may not have the money, but you have a name, and your name may be able to get me into rooms. So let's work together. How can we work this out?
And you
got to have common sense. You know what I'm saying? It's a common sense game.
And I get it, but the things that you've done for me is tremendous. Okay, I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for you. But there's been times where Katina has had to say, Greg, that's okay. Okay. Because especially when she was in the situations, I was ready. Man, I'm calling folks, hey man, look, because I'm from Gary, got that hood. I'm like, hey man, look, my girl coming down to so and so, you need to watch out for and look what, okay? And I know that you can handle yourself. She's more than capable of handling herself, okay? Trust me, all right? But having said that, man, is there a particular, and I want to say this the right way.
Just say it, Greg.
I can't just say it because they might kick me off the air. So I'm trying to think of, I'll leave it. I'll leave that one alone. With what you do, would you be willing to be a mentor to a lot of other women out there or guys? Because one other thing that's going on too is this National Women's Month. All right, and we got one for the first time, and this is another thing too. I'm just jumping all over the place.
You're all over the place.
But I gotta say this.
That's because Greg and I have 10 years? Is it 10 years?
It's a lot, okay. And I'm trying to get an hour, not even an hour. It's been a while. It's been a while,
Mm-hmm.
about 10 years. And you know, I love you to death. Okay. And I lost my thought, and I've never ever lost my thought.
We were talking about mentoring.
Okay, mentoring. Would it be an opportunity for you to be a mentor? Because I know you used to do, like you said, the public speaking and going to these events and speaking. All right, and I think if you had a situation where there's a bunch of women that are trying to do the same thing that you're doing or doing it, that you guys could really impart a lot of knowledge to those that are trying to do it. I mean, because like you just said, there's plenty of room and plenty of loot out there for everybody.
I would love to mentor young women and anyone who is looking to come into this profession, because there are men in this profession too. But yeah, I'm always looking to mentor young women or anybody in this profession, because you know, you got to understand how to do it and how to do it the right way.
Right.
You know, the reason why you don't see Getty images of me out there, and you know, I kind of just take pictures with my clients, or I may do a little selfie on the carpet if you follow me, is because I'm not the star. There's a lot of publicists out here who want to be the star. I'm not the star. I'm here to service my client. So it's my job to take pictures of my client on the carpet, to get videos of my client, to get pictures of my client with his peers and his friends at different events. I am the publicist. I'm serving my client. I am working for my client. So many times I see people who call themselves publicists, and they got more Getty images and red carpet appearances than the client. You know what I'm saying? And I, you know, to me, that's not my MO. That's not how I roll. My thing is service my client first. I had such a pleasure, and I just want to give a shout out to Frank Holder and just thank him, because he gave me the opportunity to be the talent producer for the Humor Mill Comedy Awards. It was the first Humor Mill Comedy Awards. And I had to wrangle talent to come and be a part of this event. I had to find the presenters, you know, wrangle VIPs and talent to come and attend this event. And I had such a great time. It was a blessing working with that team. And I say that to say, because I'm not out here trying to be the star. There was so many people. I mean, it was so much going on that day, and there was such star power in the building. You know, I'm not the one who's trying to, oh, let me hop on the carpet and get this Getty. Let me run over here and get an interview, you know, because I'm trying to put me out there and be the star. You shouldn't be doing that as a publicist. You should be doing your job. And if there's time in the end, that's one thing. But if there is no time, then there is no time. You know, and one of my clients kind of pulled me on the carpet. He was like, you know, you don't have no Gettys out there of yourself and this and that. I was like, I don't have Gettys because I'm working. Like, I'm working for my clients. So he pulled me on the carpet one time, and I got one Getty image of myself out there. And, you know, he's like, you need a Getty, just get one. So I do have one now, but I've been doing this for a long time and never had just pictures and pictures and pictures of me on carpets at different events, unless it's me taking my own selfies. And I do like pictures with my clients or people that I've worked with, people that I've networked with, because that just lets you know I do have a reach, and you know, that's why I call myself a celebrity publicist, because I do have a reach. And I made it a point to get in the rooms and meet people, and I'm a genuine person, you know, and when you're genuine about what you do, God blesses you.
It ain't hard.
So this is Shug Fields, okay? So if you're a publicist and you not all up in your clients' pictures and on the Getty images, you don't want them all up in your stuff.
Come see me.
KFields PR. Did you have a question?
Well, because I have a good friend of mine, and I love him to death, and he's like, you know, you need your blue check. You need your blue check on Instagram. And I was like, I don't need my blue check to verify what I do and who. I get blue checks for my clients. I'm not concerned about a blue check for myself. But then he had a point. He was like, well, that still verifies your business. And I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, it verifies my business. Okay, I get that point. But, you know, I'm not out here chasing the blue check. I'm out here chasing them for my clients.
Explain to folks who don't know about a blue check what a blue check is.
So on Instagram, a blue check basically verifies, number one, you are who you are. And number two, that you are on a like celebrity status, basically. But they're changing that now. Now they're trying to do like, I think they're going to do like, you can pay to have blue checks now. So it's going to be like,
phony.
Someone told me like a yellow check to verify that you're actually a real human being. And I think they're trying to work something out where, because so many celebrities have been complaining about, I had to work to get this check, you know. So I think they're trying to figure out how they're going to do it now. But they're definitely going
always trying to figure out that shortcut.
Right.
Yeah. Gina, you had a question.
Yeah, Katina, I know it had to be difficult with you having two children. You mentioned that earlier. I don't know their age, but how did you manage doing what you were doing with raising two children?
Right. Well, I started my KFields PR in 2016, which is around the time I met you, Greg. Well, it was Udapa. I'm saying KFields PR, but it was called Udapa at the time.
Right.
And my son was about I want to say 16 then, and and then my daughter was 10. And so I played it safe for so many years because I was a single mother, but that just wasn't my heart and my passion. I played it safe, meaning I was working these government jobs or these really high level jobs, making the six figures because I needed to make sure that I had money and a home and my kids were in the best schools and we lived in good neighborhoods. That's why when my son I was actually going to move to LA, Greg. I don't know if you remember this. When I was still working for the Postal Service and they had an opening in LA. Yeah. And something always kept pulling me to the LA area, and I applied for the position here in LA and didn't get it. But everything is done by God's design. Now I know why.
You want to get out there and jump.
Right, because I was adopted. That's a second part of my story. I was adopted. Ooh. And for 20-something years, I searched for my family. In 2017, I found my family. Yeah. And most of my family lived here in LA. My father lived here in LA. Unfortunately, my mother she was deceased, so I never had a chance to meet my mother. But I met all of my mother's children, my sisters, my brothers, and my father was still alive. My grandmother from my mother was still alive. My great grandmother, my grandmother on my father's side, his mother was still alive. So it's like most of my family was here in the LA area. So, I made it a point after I found my father and my family, I told my kids, I told my son, when you graduate and I get you settled in college, I'm moving. I'm moving to LA. Number one, I'm moving to move my business. I think that my business can grow. Number two, I want to move to get to know my family. And I want to get to know my father, spend time with my father, know my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, great aunts, even on my mom's side, like there's family, all of them are like out here in California.
Wow.
So that was another driving force of me moving here. Mm. My daughter did not come with me the first year I came here. She stayed with a friend, which is a whole nother story. I can't even get into that. But and then due to COVID, I couldn't move her because I moved here in 2018. She stayed in 2019. She stayed in 2019. I was going to move her in 2019, and then something happened. And then she was coming the next year. I let her finish out middle school, and I was like, okay, we could just start high school in LA, and then COVID hit. So she actually just moved out here in June of this year after she finished up the 10th grade because we were shut down, of course, here for 2 years in LA, so I couldn't get her out here in time. But she's here with me now, and she graduates high school next year. My son graduates college December of this year. So yeah, so it was easier for me when I moved here because, my son wasn't here. He was in college. And then my daughter wasn't here in the beginning because she was staying with a friend. And she's here now, and it's still not hard, because I have family here and I met some good friends. And, if I have to come and go, they can come and sit here with her or, I'll pay a babysitter or whatever. But my kids have never really stopped me from doing the job.
Right.
And sometimes I take her with me now. I'm like, you want to go? You want to go meet some people? So
she took him to the last event she was
right.
I saw them kikiing with Brandon and all of that. But I remember when you were doing that. I remember like it was yesterday, okay? And I remember you was actually sending me pictures on the travel there because you drove.
We drove across country.
Yeah, and I was like, man, you really gonna do this? And she was like, I got to do it. I have to. This is something that's missing. And I gotta do it, okay? And I remember when she got there and she sent these pictures of the family. It was just like they were always together. They, it was organic. It was like
that's a whole book right there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because I'm actually working on that book. I'm working on 2 books, and actor comedian Buddy Lewis is a writing. He's a phenomenal writer.
I'm Gary.
And he's also a client. And so I reached out to Buddy and asked him to help me write a a story, write my story, which is a different story. We don't even have enough time to get into that, but I went through some things with my daughter. I had someone try to basically
Traffic.
I wouldn't even say traffic, but they basically, the person who she was with didn't try to, but manipulate my daughter into thinking that I didn't want her to stay with me, and then I didn't want her, and then I was abusing her. A whole lot of craziness, right? A lot of craziness that I went through. I mean, craziness. It's like a whole nother story. It's so crazy that I was talking to someone who works with Lifetime, and they were very interested in my story. And so I reached out to Mr. Lewis and said, can you help me? Because I'm not a writer. I don't know how to write a script, a screenplay, an outline, or anything. And so he's actually helping me with that storyline.
That's awesome.
That's gonna be a great story.
Yes, please let us know when it's out.
That's a story that needs to. That's a story that needs to be told, because I'm telling you, you're not the only one.
I know I'm not. I know I'm not.
And nobody's probably told it. Just getting that little glimpse of what gleaned off what you said. That's probably going to be an awesome story.
It was a good friend of mine who I thought was a good friend of mine and was my daughter's godmother. And so because
don't go too deep. Don't go too deep.
I'm not.
Let it finish.
Because the kid's father, he's a father, but he's not really an active father. Okay, I don't want to put him in a category where he doesn't call his kids and check on them, but he wasn't really active. So when I moved here, I asked him if she could stay with him, and the answer was no. So I said okay. And then I reached out to her godmother, and I said, well, can she stay with you for probably about a year, maybe less than that. I need to get settled. I didn't know my father, so I didn't want to put her in a situation where I'm getting to know this man. I didn't know anything about him, so I'm trying to be a responsible parent. And she said, yeah, she can stay with me. I don't have any problems with that. And so she stayed there for about a year. And then like February of 2019, I was like, okay, let's go. It's time for you to move to California. And once again, remember, this was a very good friend of mine. And so her mother passed away in the first week of August, right around when I was going to bring my daughter here. And she said, oh, your daughter helps me with, she's helping me with my grieving process. I'm here by myself, XYZ. Can she stay another year? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And I told Greg, when I told him the story, I was like, that was my mistake. I should not have let her stay that extra year. So because I felt for my friend, and, I said, I looked at my daughter and I said, well, do you want to stay another year? And she said, well, I don't mind. She's by herself. I don't mind if I stay another year. It's just middle school. As long as I can start high school, I'm good. So I was like, okay. So I let my daughter stay one more year. Then COVID hit. So I couldn't bring her. I couldn't bring her in 2020. It was a hot mess. But in between the time that my daughter was there, because we went from 1 year to 4 years, because we were down 2 years for COVID, and then she was there for a year, and then I allowed her to stay an extra year. She was telling my daughter that she raised her. She was trying to erase the memories that my daughter had of me. She was telling my daughter that I didn't love her. She was telling my daughter that I was practicing witchcraft, all kind of crazy stuff. She had my daughter. She had my daughter thinking that I was an abusive mother because when I would tell her no, being a parent, she was telling her that was verbal abuse. And when I told her things like, well, you can't wear makeup until you're 16, and you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't hang out by yourself with your friends, because remember, LA was on tight lockdown. Some places like, I call them Republican states, like North Carolina, they weren't really on lockdown like that. So she was, can I go hang out with my friends? No, that's human trafficking, and COVID is real. So no, you don't need to be, and you're not old enough to be somewhere with friends at 15, and you're not, I don't allow a child to hang out by themselves with other children. You know what I'm saying? So when I would say stuff like, no, she was telling her, oh, she's being mentally abusive to you, and things like that. And I didn't know any of this was going on at all.
Wow.
Until I moved my daughter here, and then the floodgates just opened, and that's when all the craziness started happening. So you have to read the book and watch the movie to know what happened after that.
Look, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm ready.
You're talking about some man. I mean, you want to go back and choke the crap out of this lady.
Let me tell you, Hunte, it took God himself to hold me back. It took God himself to hold me back because I was really about to go to jail, y'all. I was, and my good friends were like, Katina, no, Katina,
You
no,
know I
Katina,
wasn't
no.
gonna let you go to jail, girl. You know I
Oh
wasn't
my
gonna
God.
let that happen.
It's a dig
Hey,
up.
He would have hid you out. He'd have found you. He'd have
But
had a place.
I can say
Pookie
that
in there.
now, in this month, in this new year, my daughter and I relationship is a whole lot better. It is a more loving relationship. I think she understands that there was a lot of manipulation and things that that had happened. And the things that was being told to her about me, she's understanding that that's not true. So with a lot of therapy and love, we are working it through.
That's what's up. Now, I know you got to go, Katina, and we're gonna let you get that, and then we're gonna do the life coach, and then we're gonna get out of here. Okay, but Katina, before you leave, is there anything you want to tell our audience?
Yes, stick to your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something. If you have a passion to do something, I don't care what it is, what type of profession, what it is, follow your dreams, stick to it, stay faithful. A lot of people are not spiritual, but I'm very spiritual. I pray every day. God is the head of my life. And, I think without God, I wouldn't be where I am today. He definitely shows me and leads me in the right directions, because if it's not meant to be, he'll shut the door. And no matter how hard you open it, that door doesn't open. Yep. So I pay attention to the signs, and, I'm here solely because of God. So don't let anybody stand in your way. If you have a passion to do something, just do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I love you, Katina. We love you here at Dope Living TV.
Oh, wait a minute before I leave, Greg. I have got to give a shout out to my hometown, Darlington, South Carolina. I have so many great friends and families and supporters in my hometown where I grew up at, which is Darlington, South Carolina, a little town in South Carolina. But let me tell you something. The people there are so loving. They show me a lot of love and support to this day. I have so many friends, high school friends, people I grew up with that inbox me every day almost and say, I'm proud of you. And that means a lot to me. So thank you guys.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Amazing.
I am proud of you. All right.
Yes.
This is my, I don't care how many names y'all see on there. I'm her client. I'm the dude. All right. All right. I'll put it like this.
He don't like to share.
She practiced on me. Okay, no, I ain't sharing. I ain't giving up. Man. She practiced on me, and she got good at it. All right. So, Katina, I
practiced on Greg.
That's right. I thank you. I thank you for coming out. God bless you. Okay, we love you here at Dope Living TV. I love you personally, and much more success.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me to just tell my story and let people just know a little bit more about me. And also,
it's amazing.
Thank you so much for having this wonderful platform and allowing me to bring clients to your platform. Thank you.
Oh, for sure, man. Bring all of them.
We appreciate you.
Bring them all. We got them. Okay. We're going to run to this life coach moment real quick. Okay. Again, that's Katina Fields. I'm going to let that roll. If you guys want to get in contact with her, she says, she got something else to say.
No, you was getting ready to say it. You can go to my website, or you can follow me on IG, which is at KFields PR. IG is at KFields PR. Instagram is KFields PR Agency. I'm sorry, Facebook is KFields PR Agency. Instagram is at KFields PR, or the website, KFieldsPRAgency.com. Thank you, Greg. Love you.
You know what? I had it all on a tile, and I forgot to put it up. Okay, but we'll get when you guys go to www.KFieldsPRAgency.com, you'll see everything that you need to know. Okay, she has a Facebook page, she has a LinkedIn page. Look up the name Katina Fields. Thank you, Katina. Be safe at that party. All right, I don't want to have to come out there.
Have fun, Katina.
I will. Thank you.
Have a great time.
Hey, Gina, kick us to the life coach moment.
Yes, it's time. Let's kick it to refocus, redirect.
You can't even say it.
Hey.
Oops.
Wrong one.
Jeff coming to you with another 1 minute thought. And real quick, we had a good relationship show yesterday. So I kind of want to just challenge everybody to take a look on how you're dated. I had a very interesting conversation with my wife today. One of the points that we talked about was what you have to do is you have to be intentional on where you're dating at. Okay? Be intentional on where you're dating at. if you want women, if you want to date a more high caliber man, why would you go to the local bar? Why would you go right around the corner where you know people gonna be fighting, getting drunk at? Raise your standards, man. If you know you want to potentially more career-oriented woman, or a woman that has a little bit more to offer, why would you go to the janky club right down the street where all they doing is twerking and dropping it like it's hot? Listen here, men and women, we have to change our standards. Well, I'm married, so it ain't we, but you have to change your standards of dating and where you want to be. If you change your atmosphere, I guarantee you, you will find exactly who you are looking for.
Next time, give me fair warning so I can get my thoughts together.
Man.
Refocus, redirect, regroup. It may not be in that order, but those are the words.
Shout out to Marcella. She gets it like that all the time. Okay, thank you, Tanisha. And she thanks you, Katina, for sharing your truth.
Yes.
Takesha got it up there. She said KFields PR Agency.com. She already on it. You're going to get a lot of calls now, Katina. It's all good. Right? I want to thank you for coming on the show and hanging out with us. All right, a celebrity publicist, Katina Fields. And I'm telling you, she's done so much for my career, period. From the time I met her, we sat down and we talked. And truthfully, she grilled me. What am I trying to do? What do I want to do? And she has put me in the places I need to be in order to make a living. So I appreciate you, Katina. I love you so much. All right. Man, had a great week, y'all.
Yep.
Yes.
Great week. Mo B, let's get out of here.
Man, look, the thing that really stuck out to me the most is what she said. We need to get some cohesiveness going on with this business and do what we do. I know she has a bunch of clients, and we need to let these folks know that black business matters. I mean, she's trying to, she shouldn't have to try to kick in the door to every red carpet just because they don't know her. But our clientele A-list is there. You know, I think she's very true. We need to have that coalition, whatever it needs to be, whatever acronym needs to be. We need to definitely, without a doubt, kick that door in and do our thing on that.
Absolutely. Gina.
Man, one thing she said that we hear a lot of our guests that are doing what they had on their heart to do is follow your dream. Do not let anyone tell you that you can't do it. Keep pushing through. Pray. It's going to happen. Yeah. And she just reconfirmed that it's going to happen. I know she probably went through a lot of trials and tribulations, but look where she is now. She didn't give up. She didn't stop. She didn't say, I can't do it. And look where she is now. Those words just resonate with me.
I'm telling you, and knowing her and knowing where she came from to where she's at now, I'm telling you, it is it's a great story to see where she's at now. Like I said, you wouldn't think she has a home because she's always out there networking, always with what you have to do for your business and your brand. All right. Katina has gone through something to get to something, and she's done it very well. And we appreciate you, Katina, for hanging out with us and always bringing your clients to Dope Living TV Live. We appreciate that as well. So y'all never know who's going to pop on, okay? Because Katina give me that call. She said, Greg, can you? I say, yeah, we can. All right. I got to call Gina first to get my permission, though. Got to ask Gina first. But anyway.
Got to go through the other queen.
Which other queen? Oh, I thought you was talking about the one that be in this corner over here. That corner down there.
No. The one that's above me.
That queen out there fighting fires, okay?
Yeah.
Anyway,
right?
This is great. That's Gina Galson. That's Mo B. This is Dope.
All right. Peace out, y'all.
Live, man. Thank you guys for always tuning in. We love the support that you guys give us. And we'll see you again next week, all right?
Peace.